Obviously disappointed in the outcome. At halftime, I felt we were in a good spot in striking distance, 8-point game, and then just didn't execute well enough in the second half. That pretty much sums it up. I'll open it to questions now.
Trent, how confident are you in this team to bounce back from a game like this?
I'm very confident in them. Again, they're a good group. We've seen them respond well to adversity. We got to fix what we see tomorrow when we watch the film, and then get better. So I feel good about this group and their character and their ability to bounce back from this.
That was not a defensive performance that I expected to see today. What did Oregon do that surprised you guys or that you couldn't overcome?
That's hard to say in the moment right now. We weren't tight enough in coverage. I know that was an issue. And they got good players, and they executed well, and they out-executed us. So we gotta solve that and fix it.
Trent, typically speaking, as far as a home game goes the last couple of years, very atypical performance for Oregon State at home. Do you think that they're, lack of energy or anything like that? Did something just not quite seem on today?
No, I think it just came down to when plays were supposed to be made, Oregon did a nice job of making them, and we didn't. And I think that's about it. The energy, their focus, their commitment to it, I didn't question that at all.
What element of your game plan and when did it deviate from what you were hoping to execute?
We never deviated from the game plan. Obviously late in the game you got to start throwing because you're down 3 or 4 scores, but that's probably it.
Trent, the first drive you had 3 penalties, 2 false starts, which you haven't had all season. Did you feel like that kind of just got the game off to a rough start? I mean,
it stalled out that drive. We had a new center in there, which we had to shuffle around a lot of the offensive line as well, so it were a little slow to get started.
You mentioned different center, different right guards. How do you think the offensive line kind of fared overall today compared to what you guys were expecting?
I thought early in the game they did a nice job. I thought we were having some success on the ground. They were protecting pretty well, and then, we just kind of ran out of gas there at the end.
Like you mentioned earlier, obviously you guys had to go to the passing attack, maybe even a little earlier than you would have wanted to, but how did you feel like Giovanni played today?
I thought he was efficient when he threw the ball. There were some nice throws, some nice catches. I'll have to look at it on film to be totally sure of exactly what happened, but overall I thought he did a nice job. He didn't turn the ball over, which is a big thing.
On the same note, really good game out of Trent Baalke. Just kind of what's his development been like, especially with Darius not being good to go yet? Just kind of how's he been kind of a security blanket for Giovanni?
Trent's been great. He's a guy obviously self-made from where he started to where he's at now, and he just works extremely hard. He's reliable. He's going to run the right route. There's a lot of trust there.
It looked like when you guys were on defense, they were really picking on your young linebackers. Just kind of where do you go from here after all that?
Yeah, I think it's going to be great teaching. Like you said, young, right? So they're gonna learn as they go, and there's going to be growing pains a little bit somewhere today. So, hopefully, right, as we dive into the film, these guys use it as an opportunity to get better.
In some sorts, did this feel like a bit of a litmus test for you guys, just to see kind of really where you guys are at this point in the season?
I never looked at it that way.
Trent, you play in Eugene, this team next year. What are your thoughts about the future of the series? Would you like to continue to play them?
I haven't even thought about that, to be honest with you. That's a ways down the road that I'm not concerned with right now.
Coach, looking at the defense, do you think that this performance speaks to bigger issues, or is it more of like a one game and they caught you off guard?
I think it's just a game. I think you're not always gonna shut everybody out, right? There's gonna be games where you play well and games where you're off, and today was one where we were off.
Did they do anything offensively that caught you off guard, or was it about what you were expecting?
I think you gotta, when you're playing a group as skilled as they are, you gotta be your best, and we just weren't today.
Trent, you said early at the outset of your program that you wanted to be explosive. Why haven't we seen a lot of explosiveness yet? Are they just not ready for that, or is it just?
That's a good question. I'd have to dive deeper into that to answer that one.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Again, please grab a mic when you ask a question. First question.
Melvin, where's your confidence level in terms of how this team could bounce back from a game like this?
My confidence level is very high. This is really going to challenge our team to see where our mindset is, to see what we're going to do tomorrow when we show up for meetings and practice, even Tuesday when we get back to our process. So I'm very interested to see how our team reacts and see how we respond, but I know we'll respond the right way, and I'm just ready to get back to work.
It looked like when you guys were out there on defense, Oregon was doing a lot to try and pick on linebackers especially and make you guys make plays in the alley. Just kind of how did that go, and where do you guys think you can learn from this?
I just think we all, as a whole defense, we should get back in our playbooks and see what our rules are. Just so we know what we can do in those situations when things go to moving, when things shift, and things of that sort. So I feel like as a whole defense, we could be better, including me. So yeah, we'll get back to it.
Which defensive formations do you think were most and least effective against the Ducks offense?
I'm sorry, but I'm not here to really talk about defensive formations, sir.
Looking at the defense as a whole, what, from your perspective, was the most frustrating part about the way you guys played?
Anytime you lose, it's frustrating. So just trying to stay level-headed, just trying to keep all my guys positive, because all it takes is one drive. We was in the game early on. We could have made a difference if we got a stop. So just trying to keep all my guys positive, because I know we can do it. We just got to put our mind to it. Everybody has to do their 111. If one piece is missing from the 111, then everything can fall apart. So we're just trying to do our job.
How would you describe the way their quarterback played?
Dylan Gerby had a solid game. I respect my opponents by preparing for him each week. I saw what he did on film. He came out and performed. He had a solid game. He showed up for his team.
You've got another Big Ten team coming here next week. How do you put this behind you and move on and get ready for Purdue?
Really, you just got to keep your head down. I feel like Coach Brady do a good job of telling us to stay process-oriented. So if you're truly process-oriented, even when you get a loss, you'll still do the same things you'll do when you were winning. So we got to show up tomorrow, work, pay attention to meetings, get things right that we got wrong, and just do our job to the best of our ability every time.
Obviously, scoring-wise, there seemed like there was a bit of a switch in that second half. Did they do anything differently, or did you guys feel gassed at all?
I don't think they did anything differently. I feel like I just feel like we could have came out and played harder as a defense, including me, starting with me, because all these things start with me as a captain. So if I come out more physical, then the guys will come out more physical and attack and get after them. So I just feel like we got to come out faster, start stronger for sure. Even our first drive in the first half. So yeah, I just feel like we got to come out and start fast, man. That starts with me, starts with the captains, starts with the leaders. So we got to get back to it this week, see what we can do to get our guys going, and then do that.
Defensively, overall, you guys are just so young. What are you telling, the younger players in a game like this where it's starting to, go that way?
Just telling them, just telling them everything's not going to go your way. Everything's not, it's not all sweet. This is a high-level play of football. So, they going to make plays. I've been telling my young guys, they going to make plays. We're going to make plays too, but they going to make plays as well. You just got to respond in those moments, because the next play can be yours if you lock in and pay attention. So I just trying to tell the young guys that, your time's coming. So when you out there, just do your thing.
Thanks, Melvin.
I have a good one.
Trent Walker.
Trent, obviously not the outcome you guys are really looking for today, but you have a really big day in the passing game as a receiver, just not going down on first contact, making big grabs on third down situations. Just kind of how would you evaluate your play today?
Yeah, it's nice to have personal stats, but I truly care more about getting a win. We got to be better on offense. We got to give our defense a chance to catch their breath. So.
Trent, did you think that first drive where you guys had 3 penalties, a couple of false starts, did you feel like that got you out of sync at all to start the game?
I don't think it got us out of sync, but it definitely hurt us. We got to avoid that, especially playing a talented team like Oregon. We can't beat ourselves, especially on the opening drive. So I don't think it got us out of sync, but we definitely got to work on not doing that.
And then it's been kind of a program goal from early on that Trent wanted this offense to be explosive. Why do you feel like that hasn't emerged quite yet?
I think our run game's working. Why change it? So I trust Gundy. I trust Coach Bray. We've been getting it done, so there's nothing to change.
What are the two most positive elements of your offensive performance today that you think you'd like to build off of and carry into your future games?
I think the operation as a whole was well. I think we communicated well. We can always communicate more. There's still some good things to take away as a team and as an offense. We got a lot more games to play.
Trent, just kind of from your perspective, what did their cornerbacks do to make life difficult for you guys? What do you think they did well?
They're talented. Oregon corners have been talented for a while now. They got good feet. Yeah, they're good players.
Trent, it's been a couple years since Oregon State's had a home loss that was, this wide of a margin. Do you think there was, a lot of reasons for that? Anything that, were you guys not quite as amped up coming into the game, maybe not enough energy, or just kind of a bunch of things that you can't necessarily point to?
No, I don't think it was anything to do with our energy or being amped up or not. We just didn't execute.
Trent, the next couple days, what do you think you're going to see out of your guys mentally and emotionally after a game like this?
I think this is going to be our first Sunday practice after a loss, so tomorrow's definitely going to be a little tougher than it has been. But I expect them to bounce back. We got a huge season ahead of us still.
Through 3 weeks now, do you feel like offensively you guys know who you are, or sort of get a sense of what the identity of the offensive unit is?
Yeah, I think we got an identity. I think there's still stuff we can do. There's still stuff to improve on. I'm still excited for the season. It's just one game.
Nobody wins all the time, so how do you reorient your mindset and get excited for the next game to perform at your highest level?
We're playing a big school like Purdue. That's a big name. If you don't get excited to play them, then you're probably playing the wrong sport.
I know you mentioned obviously you would have liked the win other than your good performance, but it feels like we've been sort of seeing you over the last couple of years just waiting for your opportunity, and now you're finally getting that opportunity. Do you feel like you're meeting the moment?
Yeah, I've been sitting in those meetings for 4 years. I learned from great guys ahead of me, and I came in, the room was stacked, and Coach Fentz does a great job of teaching everyone, not just who is playing right now. So I try to take as much as I could from each meeting, and yeah, like you said, I try to just stay in the moment.
All right. Thanks, Trent.
Thank you guys.